Good evening, everybody. I am so excited for today's show. So I really hope that whoever is on with us, that you are going to be sharing. We've got 4 of our contestants from our Finding Love series on with us, and we're going to be asking all types of questions about love and their experience working with Callie and I, because we really want people to feel more comfortable as we are launching the Love Vault. So if you've got questions, wait until we say go ahead and ask, because we've had issues with too many questions coming on and then we can't get to all of them. But if you're on with us, let us know where you're watching us from. I love to do some shout outs and acknowledgments at the very beginning while Callie is sharing. So let me know where you're watching us from, and we can kind of start from there. But I am excited about today's show. And again, please help share. It'll just be a little bit here before we get started. So we've got Manga Lee from Oklahoma. How are you? How's the weather in Oklahoma? I've never been there. I've been wanting to come, so we'll see. We've got Wisconsin in the house. Hello, Peachy Her. Ku Yang says, is Callie looking for a husband? I don't know. We'll wait for her to answer that question. She may or may not be entering the love vault, so I don't know if she's looking for a husband or what she's doing. So we can ask that later. We've got Nolly Her. Hello from Michigan. How are you? We've got Minnesota and Sacktown in the house. Got a couple from Sacramento. Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Kansas, 60s tomorrow in Kansas. Oh, that's good. It's been so rainy here in Portland. It's like raining and then sunny and then rainy again, but that's kind of the weather that you're signing yourself up for when you move to the Pacific Northwest. So that's kind of what we've got going on here. Bipolar weather in Oklahoma. Yes, I hear Minnesota has snow, so I too would choose that over Minnesota. We've got Tony Yang says hello from the moon. Hi, Tony. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got North Carolina, lots of California and Minnesota folks. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Really appreciate you sharing the love and letting us know where you're watching us from. If you are just tuning in, we are on live with 4 of our past contestants from the Finding Love series. We're going to be asking them questions about love and virtual dating and their experience on the show and whatnot. So lots of good stuff. We'll get started here in a minute. And again, please help share. We've got, oh my gosh, Texas in the house. Hello, my Hyung from Texas. Oh, Jen, are you in Sedona? Oh, miss you too, girl. I'm sure the weather is nice and warm there. Hi, Bobby from Seattle. How are you? All right, Callie, you good? All right, so as of right now, we have over 100 people joining us live. I'm sure you guys are all super excited to kind of just get an update from some of these men and where they are, and we're going to talk about love, virtual dating, all types of crazy stuff.
Yeah, we're super excited about this conversation. It's been a while since we've had a relationship roundtable, and so we thought, what better way to bring some of the men that you are already familiar with, and we love to hear your thoughts on some of these questions as well. So definitely, please chime in and let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, and I think like in our sharing of the gentleman coming on, there were some really awesome answers and some really funny ones, and so we will kind of share those throughout the show too. But thank you guys so much for just engaging in that. I know that the pictures are there to kind of say, hey, this person's coming on, but I love how you all paid attention and really answered the question. So
Yeah, and I mean, I don't wanna pit the guys against each other, but I would love to know which was your favorite picture.
Uh,
A couple of announcements before we begin. So we are coming to Fresno New Year, and we are going to have a booth, and so we're gonna have a booth, of course, Fresno New Year is only going to be 4 days this year because of COVID. And so we are only planning to have a booth on Friday, December 31st and Saturday, January 1st. So you're probably wondering what the heck we're going to be doing at the booth. We're not selling anything. We really just want to be able to have a connection with y'all face to face. I know that a lot of the time you guys are watching us virtually and connecting with us virtually. And so now that, with the vaccine and everything, we feel comfortable kind of, like going to Fresno and being able to interact with y'all. And so we are really hoping to see all of you come by our booth. We have some fun stuff planned. We'll have guests come and hang out with us. We're going to have some of the gentlemen that are from the Finding Love series also. And just, some other fun stuff that we have planned. And so we definitely want y'all to come by and take a picture with us, come chat with us. We love to just see you all and meet you all.
we've also got some prizes too, some really cool prizes. And so that'll kind of be announced a little bit later on what type of games we'll be playing and how you can get a hold of those prizes. So be on the lookout for that post.
Yes. And then, of course, we also want to just mention the Love Vault. We've been getting applicants in, and we are super, super excited to see both men and women joining in. If you were a fan of Finding Love, we really hope that, and if you're single, only, single, not married. Again, I know there's been some tempted people to join in, and I know all the single folks make dating look so fun, but this really is just open to single people. That's the only limitation. And probably at least over 18. And so but definitely come join us in the Love Vault. There's again a lot of great people in there already. My dad did pressure me to get married, and so I am looking for a husband. I mean, first I'm looking for a partner, and then eventually.
There you go. All
Yeah.
right. I think it was Mr. Ted Vang or is it Ted? Somebody asked that question. Oh no, Mr. Ku Yang is the one who asked if you were looking for a husband. So
Wait, did you say Ku Yang?
Ku Yang.
Oh, I am, but I am a Yang too, and I think this year I've chosen, and probably next year I've chosen not to taboo. So
so many Yang brothers out there single.
I know. I mean,
Single,
it's tempting, and maybe by the end of next year I will say open to all, but right now I'm gonna try to do my dad proud. I've done a couple of things, I've wronged him a couple times, and so I think the last thing for me to do is bring home a Yang vow for him. I think he'd probably flip.
But you know what you could do though, all the Yang brothers, let a sister help you out into the Love Vault, right? Kelly and I will be more than happy to assist you. We've got a lot of applicants, like Kelly said, men and women from all over the states, and we are just so excited to kind of get started. And I think we're going to start looking at that beginning in January after we come back from the Fresno New Year. So you still have got time to put in your application. Again, we're not asking for much. The application process is super easy. Just a couple of questions and a video explaining what you're looking for. So
yes,
highly encourage you all to do that. All right. Shall we get started?
Yes. So joining us today, of course, if you have been following on the page, is Eric, Roger, and Travis. And so before they jump on, I want you guys, we're going to give a prize to somebody, to the people that can guess which of those gentlemen did not have a shirt on. So again, that's Eric, Roger, and Travis. Just type in the comments, and then we will go back and look and see if you guessed right.
I'm sure a lot of people will. So the prizes will go to the first person that we see in the comment section.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Good evening.
Hi. It's been a while.
I know. It feels so weird to see you guys again.
Right?
I love this relationship that we've built where we can just connect with you and you say yes, and I love it. So thank you so much for making time for Callie and I and coming on and being a part of our relationship roundtable. The roundtable, we've talked about sex. We've talked about what was our first roundtable on, Callie? Just, can men and women be friends? We've had a lot of juicy conversation around those types of things, and I'm sure we all have our own opinion. But we've got lots of different questions for you guys today regarding relationships too, so that'll be fun. Lots of a lot of people got it right, Callie.
Good. I'm glad. I just wanted to make sure that they're paying attention. And gentlemen, the question was who had their shirt off, and it seems like people have been paying attention. I think some of the wrong answers are probably deliberate hints. So if you are called out and you did not have your shirt off, maybe it's time to give the people what they've been asking for. This is not.
Come on, guys. I can't be the only one.
But you are like a fitness person, Jer, so it only makes sense to show off your muscles.
But I think that it's totally fair to. I mean, I think we want to see if these other men are fitness. I mean, speaking for myself, but.
All right, let's kick into the first question we've got then, yeah? And I think there is no particular order and how we want to do this, but what I see on the screen. So we'll go Jer, Travis, Roger, and Eric. The first question, let's just get it out, is are you currently in a relationship? Jer?
Oh. No, I am currently not in a relationship. That doesn't mean that I'm not open to whoever comes my way, but yeah, definitely not in a relationship.
Thank you. Travis?
I am. I was lucky enough to meet an amazing lady not too long after the show. So yeah, I am, and I'm really happy to be with her.
Yeah. So did the show? Did she see you on the show, or did you already know her before that?
No, so I didn't know her before that. I don't think she knew me either. I don't think it was the show. I mean, she's told me it wasn't the show. Maybe she's just being humble, but yeah, no, yeah. So as far as I know, it wasn't. But I like to think that maybe the Facebook algorithm, maybe it noticed that I was on this thing and then somehow made me pop up to other people.
Yeah. I love it. I was really excited to see when I saw that you were you found somebody. So I'm excited and I'm happy for you, Travis. All right.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. Let's go to Mr. Roger.
I am not in a relationship right now. But like Jer said, I'm also open to it.
Yeah.
All right. I think I have a friend named Ruby in Minnesota who's been kind of bark up your tree. So Ruby, you heard from the man himself.
And then we've got Mr. Eric.
Hi. So no, I'm not, unfortunately. And things just didn't work out, and we just weren't compatible, unfortunately, towards the very end here. So
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, I think we got our first question out of the way in case people were wondering if these gentlemen were in a relationship or not. So now we can get the show started, Callie. Go ahead.
All right. So this question, of course, chemistry is initial physical response and attraction we have to a person, and then we have compatibility, and that's all the various parts of our lives, lifestyle, values, and goals, and whether they're aligned with one another or not. And so if you had to pick between the two, would you pick chemistry or compatibility?
I guess I'll go. I would pick compatibility because, like you said, I feel like chemistry is just that very first reaction you have to somebody, right? So it's physical attraction. It's, I mean, what you like and dislike, right? But I feel like compatibility is what makes you stay with somebody. So that's how I feel. If I'm compatible with somebody, then I would want to stay with her for the long run and not just be with her for her physical traits or her looks or whatnot.
I guess I'll
I
go
think
next.
I would.
Oh no, go ahead, Travis.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with Roger on that. Compatibility is definitely top of the list because you can always grow the chemistry over time. Same thing with like when you get the butterflies in your stomach, that old saying. But you know, eventually butterflies fly away. And then what's left underneath is, are you compatible or not? Or do you have that foundation of relationship? So compatibility is a big thing for me and you know, for a lot of people that I know as well. You can always grow chemistry.
So I think I would put chemistry first because I think it's also it's that first initial connection that you have with someone, but it's also kind of that ongoing connection too, right? You've got to be able to be around this person and be around their bad side and maybe the the not so good side or the weird side maybe. And I think that's where maybe that chemistry where okay you're willing to kind of look past that and you still feel a connection with this person and you're still willing to be with them despite everything else and despite maybe it's like you like that person but once you get past that.
Yeah, I think me myself, I mean, a little bit of both, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick chemistry because I want the like I want to feel it and I want them to like I guess me it's like I'm a more of a feeling type of guy, so I kind of really want like to feel it and like just to think about them all the time. And then for me, it's chemistry. That's what starts it, and then compatibility. That you can always build that later on. That's why I'd say it's a little bit of both. But for me, for sure, like I guess if I had to pick one, I'd lean more towards chemistry, because I guess for me, I just really want to feel like that feeling that you really want them, and then they really want you too. And yeah, I guess I'd pick that first. So.
Right. So you guys are kind of opposing, right? Jur and Eric, I think you guys both said like the complete opposite thing, which was I think Jur said you can grow chemistry and Eric says you can grow compatibility. So maybe you guys can add a little bit on that, right? Because I think when you say that you can grow chemistry, you're basically saying that you can learn to be attracted to somebody, right? Because I think chemistry is more like physical, like you said, the butterflies. And so can you really learn? Can men really, I guess at the end of the day, can men really learn to love someone? Because I think the argument is that women can and men can't.
I think that it doesn't matter what sex you are, you can definitely learn to love somebody else. Giờ đi chọn lọt thì you trong đâu to to nữa. It's like you picking Jay Tunike. It just like their beauty grows on you, whether it's they're charismatic or the way they joke around, or just the way they take care of yourself. You might not see those traits at first, and it might take a long time for you to finally piece it all together. So yeah, I think that you can definitely learn to love somebody over time.
And we'd love to hear from the audience to like let us know if what Jur is saying is resonating with you. Can you really learn to be attracted to someone if you're initially not? Any other thoughts, gentlemen?
Sorry, just
I'm good.
someone says, "Have you guys seen No Neck Ed and Rose?" That was
But I thought they didn't end up together, right?
they weren't compatible.
They weren't compatible, or there was no chemistry. I thought there was no chemistry.
There's a little bit of both. I think that's why it's so important to have both. You got to have both.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like you have to have both, and I feel like once you like them, you'll learn to like adjust for them,
Or not.
or not. And then if not, then you gotta leave. So
Yeah. Speaking of compatibility and all of the good stuff that we just talked about, I think one really, really important factor, I don't know for you guys, but I know for me growing up, My mom has always asked that I marry someone who is Hmong. So for you guys, how does culture affect your love life, or does it?
And have y'all dated somebody like outside of the, who is not Hmong, and how has that affected your relationship?
I go first. So, my parents, they're not really. I mean, obviously, they would prefer me to date like a Hmong girl and marry a Hmong girl. But I mean, for them, it's like, as long as I'm happy, that's all they really, they care about. Because, they just want. I'm their kid, and they just want to see me happy. And have I dated outside my race? Like, yeah, of course. Like, and it was a little different because, at the same time they're understanding, but at the same time they're not because they don't know why you have to do certain things. And our background, like, like if my dad asks me to go do something, I just do without really, questioning it. But to them, it's like, oh, we should ask him. And it's like, no, it's like if he's gonna ask me to do it, or my parents gonna ask me, I'm just gonna do it. So
Yeah.
so that's where it kind of butts heads a little bit because they don't understand, like, oh, I have to go do this. And they're like, well, why do you have to do it? Can't someone else do it? It's like, no, I have to go do that. So
Well, my thing is, it's definitely a process. I mean, I'm from Tennessee, so I've dated a lot of people outside of my race, right? A lot of white girls or whatnot. And of course, my parents would want me to date Hmongs, but then it's definitely a process. I mean, like I said, I've dated multiple white girls, and teaching them my culture and stuff it's hard. Like it's something simple as far as like teaching them what kapong is difficult. So I feel like culture does come in play. I mean, as long as you're willing to learn about each other and learn each other's cultures, I think it's totally fine. So, but yeah, as far as like experiencing, I've been there firsthand. And like I said, it's a process to just teach and learn.
Yeah, culture
Travis?
definitely is a big part, especially because we are only one generation removed, and so a lot of the cultural stuff, it's still a big deal. We when we celebrate things or we do things, it's still very, it still has a lot of meaning. It's not just that, we're just doing traditions because maybe our ancestors from 3, 4 generations ago, did it. But it's like we still have that connection to it. So I mean, myself, I haven't been against dating other races, being with other races, but I've always thought to myself that at the end of the day, knowing that I am Hmong and knowing that our family, our parents, are the older folks, they are still very much Hmong, more Hmong than we are. That at the end of the day, having a partner who's also Hmong, who can understand and who can help me and help them too. I've always thought that at the end of the day, that's probably what I would come back to.
Yeah, culture does have a big part, especially somebody like me who's very, very involved in the Hmong culture and just the Hmong community itself. I would say that for me, the culture does have a big part to do with it. Not only that, but it's not that it's a bad thing to date outside the race. I myself have done it like years ago when I was like very, very young. But they're very, very interested in the culture and they don't really care about that stuff. They don't really care about their own culture, and that's just something that I personally see. And other people might see the same thing too, but overall, culture for me, it does have a big role in finding a significant other.
All right. So how does um being Hmong, I think that we grew up watching our parents who probably weren't as from my experience, I didn't see a lot of that like romantic love, right? I pretty much saw two providers in my household. And so um growing up, what did you think romantic love was?
Hard question.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
think you know,
Oh,
like a lot of us.
go ahead, Travis.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you know, we're all millennials. I think we all grew up, you know, kind of in the rom-com age, kind of the age with, you know, a lot of the movies. And I think that's where I think we got a lot of our ideas of. So I think that's what mine was. You know, a lot of what you see in rom-coms, a lot of what you see on TV and pop culture. I think that was kind of what I always thought it'd be. It'd always be something where you meet someone one day and boom, the light turns on. It is kind of like that, but sometimes it's not like in the movies where it comes at the perfect time of your life or at the time of your life that you expect it. So I think that's what my idea was, and it was just based a lot of based on what we see in media and pop culture.
Mhm.
Yeah, and for me, I probably have to agree with Travis. You know, like when you're younger, you watch a lot of movies and like even like Disney movies and stuff like that, and that's where you kind of learn like, hey, that's love. You know, like for example, like I don't know, Beauty and the Beast. You know, like dude was a beast, but she ended up liking him, and then now he's a human. It's just like I don't know. That's how I kind of see it. It's like you're willing to accept who they are, for the inside, not for too much for the outside. So
And I also agree. Like Kelly said, my parents weren't the best at showing their love to each other as well. So I didn't learn it from my parents, of course. I mean, most of it is, like they said, from movies and just experiencing things firsthand and just actually going through it, right? So yeah, it's a lot of it is mainly that.
Yeah, absolutely agree with all the guys here. Is that we grew up watching all those movies and seeing all that stuff. The big Hollywood, how love is portrayed. That we all grew up with home parents here, and they don't really like to show that affection. So if you guys have parents that actually show their affection, learn from that. But we don't know, we didn't grow up knowing what love was like to our naked eye. So we had to go off of Hollywood. So yeah, that's what we grew up thinking what love was.
So then follow-up question to that, right? Because I think that a lot of if we're thinking about all those movies that we grew up, Cinderella and all that stuff, right? She falls in the girl, main character always falls in love with the guy, and then he sweeps her off her feet, and they get married happily ever after. Do you feel a pressure from that to like, be this, knight in shining armor type of a person?
Growing up, yeah, I did. I mean, it's like having to be that guy, right? But now as you're looking back at it, it's all a fairy tale, of course. And so like now I don't feel as pressure, but growing up, I definitely thought that the pressure was on us guys, having to be that knight in shining armor for somebody and being there to save the day all the time, right? So that's, like I said, that was always the pressure growing up. But now as I look back on it, it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree. I mean, I'm not saying that like you have to be a nice shiny armor to everybody, but definitely for the person you really like, you should definitely be, there to support them. You have to be their nice shiny armor because if they really need somebody like to help them, you got to be that guy. If you're not, then you shouldn't be there.
Dang, that goes right into the next question.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No, I love the answer. But I mean, we talk about romantic love and kind of like what you saw it being growing up, but how do you see it now? Has it shifted for you? Like what does romantic love mean to you?
Tough question.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, Eric, you kind of started a little bit answering that question, right? So can you elaborate a little bit more on what does that mean to you? Like, does it mean more than just being a knight in shining armor for that person? Does it mean more
Yeah,
than just
I
showing
mean,
up?
yeah, I mean, like showing up, willing to support them. If they're like feeling tired someday, you're like, I'll help you out, or like, like you have to be that supporting partner. I mean, it's a journey, and you got to make it together. And some days you might have to work harder than the other person, but you have to be willing. Like for me, I love is like, some days you'll see them, you're like, dang, they're really like tired today, and you're kind of willing to like try to really help them out because if you didn't love them, you wouldn't do it. And you have to like give it your all because you really care about that person. And I guess to me, that's how like I envision love. It's like You see them, if they're tired of it, even if they're happy, maybe you're tired, maybe they'll help you out. But you have to lift each other up when you're at your lowest, and it's a partnership.
I agree. Just I agree. Yeah, just genuinely wanting to be there for them. You know what I mean? It's not the dating phase anymore. There's no push and pull, right? Actually, just wanting to be there for them, loving them through their good and bad, whatever that is. And yeah, like Eric said, just wanting to be there and supporting them regardless of what's going on in your life, right? If you're willing to do that with somebody, then yeah, you're good. That's how I see it now. But back years ago, it's just dating. It's just whatever, right? But now that's how I look at romantic.
Love it.
All right, I'm gonna move on to the next question. So I don't know if y'all have seen this, but Kong, who is currently dating Yasmi, recently proposed to Yasmi. Have y'all seen that video?
No.
No? Dur has
I'm
seen the
sorry.
video.
They don't follow.
Travis, have you seen that video?
I didn't know his name, but I think I saw it.
I don't think it was on her page. I felt like I saw it being shared.
Yeah.
Jur, since you've seen it, can you just kind of tell us what you saw in that video?
He got on one knee and proposed.
Where was it?
I guess, what about the environment?
So the environment, it looked like they were at, I believe this happened over Thanksgiving. So they were at a family gathering and he just got on one knee and proposed. It didn't really go into what was said prior or how it was set up. So it wasn't one of those like super romantic ones. It's just, he just got on one knee and she said yes. So
Yeah, so the question is, if y'all feel pressure to really give that, that partner a very special proposal, or if you can just propose in front of some fried chicken with family.
I think that being a guy, you always want everything to be perfect. So you always try to, when the time comes, you obviously, if you're getting nervous, your hands are sweaty, and I'm trying the best to figure out how you're gonna make it happen. And everybody's a little different. Some people might want a ton of people there, and some people might just be wanting, wanting another person to see you and her. But I feel like it's a one-time and a deal thing. You always try to make it perfect, try to make it memorable. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I feel like you only get married once, and you always try to make it perfect, or as perfect as it can be.
Yeah, there's definitely pressure there. So I saw that video, but I didn't know that was his name. I only knew the other guy's name. But yeah, it's definitely pressure. I mean, it's like this is the social media world now too. So like a proposal, you can expect that someone, maybe your friends or maybe your partner is gonna want to put it on Facebook someday, and that others are gonna see it and they're gonna judge you, or maybe your friends, you've seen how they propose and maybe you feel that pressure. I think that's why it's important for you and your partner just be on the same page and kind of communicate like, okay, what do you want? And if they expect something big like that, you got to make sure you're okay with that, and make sure that you're kind of willing to meet their expectations or their needs as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Travis on that, is that you have to really communicate with your partner as to what they really want. Some people just don't want their engagement to be, public or on social media and stuff like that. They want to just keep it private to close friends and family. And that's great, and there's some people out there, there's some ladies out there who don't want a diamond ring. They rather take that $5,000-$6,000 and put a down payment on a car or get a future home. So it really depends on what they want. Maybe they want $5,000 worth of fried chicken. I don't know.
Chicken.
That's a lot of chicken.
Fried chicken for a year.
Well, I think I agree. I feel like everybody is very different, right? But I think as we age, as women, I think that we know what we want. I'm not gonna lie. I got married, I don't know how long ago. They told. And sometimes when I think back to when my husband proposed to me, you know, it wasn't like in a fancy place. It was just us being together and he proposed. And I think it was fine to me then, and I think it's still fine to me now, but like when I think back and I see all these like lavishing proposals where there's like roses and candles, I'm always like, dang, okay. Mine didn't have any of that. But you know, I think at the moment, just thinking about like how romantic and how in the moment we were, I think it really it's different versus now where like Travis, you were saying it's all like based on social media influence and things like that. And that's where I'm kind of thinking at where you bought the you can here, but hey, it's okay. I'm still married. So you know, like it worked out just fine.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it worked out just fine. So going into the next question, you know, my husband and I, we were together for a very long time before we got married, but I want to hear from you guys on what your thoughts are on how long does it actually take to get to know someone or to know that this person is the one for you. Yeah, they show ya.
I think that question really depends on the individual themselves. You know, it depends on what they're going through in life, or you know, just how quickly they're like if they're open-minded or closed-minded. It really depends on the person. So I'm not too sure how to answer
But
that.
how long do you? But how about you? How long do you think it takes you to know if someone is the one, or is a great potential? Right? Because it's not going to take years. I mean, I've heard that really takes like 3 months.
Yeah, it could take 3 months. For me personally, it would depend on, is it going to be a long distance relationship or, you know, close distance? Because long distance, obviously, it's going to take me a lot longer, depending on how much time we invest into the relationship itself, just to learn how to learn about each other and how to talk to each other, things like that. But it can take anywhere up to 6 months to a year just to get to know somebody very well for me.
Yeah, and I think for me, I would agree with Jared because, you know, if they live closer, you know faster. Like, you know, if you're compatible and like, hey, you know, I really like her and it feels like it really works. But if it's further away, it's kind of harder because you're not around them. Yeah, you could talk to them on the phone, but it's different from talking on the phone than actually like taking them out and going do things together. So I definitely agree with Jared. I mean, it could take a couple months if they live further, but if they live closer, I mean, it could be quicker than that. You know, maybe like 2 3 months, or maybe like a week or a month, but not like a year. You know, so
Yeah, I agree with like the 3 month phase, because like I feel like 3 months is more than enough to know if you like somebody or dislike somebody. I mean, red flags can jump out from here and there, and within 3 months, I personally move really fast, so that's definitely not good either. Don't do that. So, but yeah, I feel like 3 months and over is more than enough time. And then, like the guy said, I've with long distances and or more short distance. I prefer long distance, and honestly, just but yeah, but then yeah, I feel like you learn more about each other being long distance. But short distance, like just being close to each other, is like you're just there for each other, right? Just in body, right? But then when you're long distance, you actually learn more about each other, your likes, dislikes, or whatnot. So I feel like it's 3 months is more than enough time just to know somebody. As far as like them being the one, I don't know. I'm the young guy here, so I'll let my guys here tell me what's up.
Yeah, and I agree with everyone else. I think a few months, and I think it also depends if you're both kind of open with what you're looking for, and you're both kind of willing to invest in seeing if you are the one for each other. So yeah, definitely a few months, and maybe maybe quicker if you're able to see each other and you're both on the same page with as far as what you want.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like you never know if they're the one. I feel like it's a constant like because it's because like when you're married, it's always constantly like working with each other and like being partners for each other and being there. And sometimes people grow like you may think that they're the one now, but then you grow because you're continuously growing as individuals until forever. So I feel like sometimes you may grow in different paths, and they may be the one for you for a certain period of your time, and then they may not be later on. I don't know, but that's a hard question. So I'm glad you guys were able to say 3 months, because I feel like you just never know.
And I definitely feel like looks like Roger is.
Sorry.
Aw. And I definitely feel like as you get older too, like you definitely start to like be pickier, y'all. Like I don't know, I feel like it gets harder. Like now, I just feel like in order for me to get married one day, I'm just gonna have to like accidentally end up like married.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think
You feel that way? Like I feel that way. Like I'm just like, because I'm kind of like, ooh, like that looks scary, you know, like that doesn't, you know, projecting all sorts of things. And so I just feel like, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, one day I'll just, I don't know, wake up.
Yeah,
And be
I don't think you're picky. I think it's just, you know what you want. And if, your experience teaches you that, hey, certain things that pop out will end up to being this, and from experience. So
Yeah. Yeah, Callie, don't do that.
I
Just don't accidentally get married.
see, I don't think I'm picky, you know, I just have no idea. Like I guess I felt like after my divorce, I was just like I don't even know, you know, I feel like I especially don't know now, you know. So sometimes I'm just like, I should just like put blindfold on and like, you know,
Throw a dart.
oh yeah,
sounds dangerous.
Just go to the bar.
get it done.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a constant thing you have to work at, and you know, Galima, you'll know when you know, right?
Yep.
I had before we move on to the rest of the questions, Kelly, there were some really good questions that popped up earlier, and I can't seem to find it, but I want to get some of these questions answered before we move on to the other questions. Oh, hold on. I think
Is it the one that said, "What do you mean by accidentally get married"?
no, not that one. Her accidentally getting married means she puts a blindfold on, throws a dart, whoever it hits, she marries, right?
Hi, Al.
God, where did it go? It's kind of like way up there.
What was it about? Do you do you remember the question?
No, I
Is there
don't.
any comment? Is it the one about who should pay for a date?
No, not that one.
Ooh, how about this one? Okay, would you guys marry a girl if she proposed to you?
I like that one.
Dating already.
Yes.
I think I would for sure.
Really? You would?
Yeah.
Do it.
Because you know what?
Yeah, y'all should.
It takes a lot of guts to do that.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Really?
It takes a lot of guts to do that.
Yeah.
But it shows a lot of confidence in the
Yeah, a
girl.
lot of confidence, a lot of guts.
Like,
Wait,
we
like a lot of
confidence,
confidence,
right?
and then you say yes, or you're like, that's a lot of confidence.
No, I'll be like, wow, like you did something that guys would do. First off, so it'd make me feel a little awkward. At the same time, I would be like, wow, like that takes a lot of guts to do something like that. And if you're willing to do that for me, that means like, there's so much more that we could work together to be a better partner and team together when we get married. So, I mean, I would if someone did that to me. I mean, if we're dating and did that happen, and then of course,
I'd be speechless.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
You would be speechless, meaning like you would say yes?
In a good way. Yeah, I'll eventually say yes after I collect my thoughts.
Of course, granted
It
that we all
depends,
have
actually.
chemistry.
I would say yes, but
it depends.
So it sounds like we have somebody that did propose to, let's see, I think it's Sophia Moa. I think that's what she's saying, that she did propose. So that's very interesting. That was a really good question because
how did he take it?
no, I mean they've been married for 22 years is what she said. So
Dang.
Wow.
there you go.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Travis, we didn't hear from you. Would you say yes?
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, and
Yeah,
he's the one with
if
the
this is
girlfriend. So the
Exactly.
girlfriend is listening.
you know, if you and the person, you know, you and the lady are, you're willing to be with her, and you know, she's ready to take that step, and you know, she happens to ask you before maybe you get a chance to, you know, why not? I know maybe, you know, traditionally, right, it's the guy that does it, but I don't see why a woman shouldn't be able to.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, and from a guy's perspective, you just have to, you know, so you like just let your ego go, because some guys are like, you know, that's what guys are supposed to do. It's like it doesn't really matter, because in the end, you guys are still together.
Yeah, go for it, Callie.
Throw that dart.
You got your back, right?
Must
You got
start
your
throwing
back.
darts.
Oh, I guess I gotta go propose to somebody now.
Yeah, right. But what if that proposal? I think someone asked her, "Will you propose after 3 months?"
Oh no.
I guess I don't know. I guess at my age, I don't know, because I feel like I'd still like to know them a little better. Because 3
And I
months,
guess
I mean,
it depends on how I mean that person too, right? Maybe
right?
just like
Mhm.
no.
Yeah.
Not at my age, no. But yeah, I feel like if I was older, maybe. But then currently, no.
You is getting there, Roger. You
Yeah,
is
I'm
getting
slowly
there.
getting there.
I would say after 3 months, yeah. I mean, if we have that connection, then yeah. If everything feels right, of course.
Yeah, it's gotta feel right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go, girls. Your name known get there rồi yên hay yes. That's she money you to yellow to blue and they channel, okay?
Just don't randomly.
Just don't slide into their DMs and
Oh.
ask them to marry you. It don't work that way.
Yeah. Let's go are y'all. It's like 50-50. Oh gosh, those are just bad percentages, to be honest. I'm not gonna propose.
Well, this is advice for Callie, so she will not be proposing.
Maybe it was like 75, 25. You know, I feel like that's better odds, you know, but I'm not trying to get rejected.
Yeah. I know someone did say don't do it. If they didn't propose, that means they're not ready to marry you. Yeah. But you know, what if Nichimunya to your ring?
Wait, the girl or the guy?
The guy.
What if he
Girl,
like,
you were no, don't.
I'm just saying.
No.
Help a
what
brother
if he doesn't
out.
want to get you a ring and he just
Have you
wants
not heard that song? No money, no honey. I'm just kidding. I'm just sorry. I'm just
Chị tôi bỏ lại cho món movie là hai
I
tiếng
am just kidding.
tự hào ít khó đen cho ít tá điện nó sẽ là chúa lên hậu kỳ.
That's you know that is how I feel too. I feel like love wins everything.
That's romantic love, you guys. That's love that I see in Hmong movies, like the funny ones.
Yeah, poor people need love too. So you know.
No, là hay là lưu tó chào cho họ là bảo cho cái tao nhỉ nó cái bộ. Just saying.
That's true. Or maybe they can't get anybody else, and that's why they want you.
That's true too.
You do all blowing.
Sadly, it's true. No,
All right, so let's go to the next question. We've gone off on a tangent here. We got off topic for a little bit. Okay, so Kelly, I think
are we talking about the show now?
Yeah, I think it's but I'll ask the next one. That's fine. Ooh, hold on. How has being on the show changed your view on virtual dating?
Well, it changed me personally. I feel like it changed my view, because I feel like before I'm like, I don't think this is gonna work. You know, like the chances of working is like very slim, and I just didn't really believe in it. But I think after doing it, like I definitely believe that there's really good people out there. You know, they're out there. You just to go find them. You have to be proactive and actually try to find somebody. You just can't wait for them to come to you. So I feel like, I mean, it definitely changed my view. It definitely makes me feel like it could work for sure, like work more than normal. So
yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I look at virtual dating at long distance relationship, right? So it's like FaceTiming somebody day in and day out. So, I mean, having the taste of it now just it's like I'm totally fine with it. I mean, it's totally normal to me. Like I said, it's like a long distance relationship, just talking and then eventually meeting up.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly the same as Roger. I mean, all my relationships in the past have been long distance, so virtual dating hasn't really changed much for me. Of course, on the show itself, everything's scheduled in time, so that was a little different. But other than that, the whole dating concept of being virtual is the same.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say why not, especially maybe in times like this where it's harder to get to places, or long distance. Maybe you'll meet someone that you wouldn't have a chance to meet otherwise, and it's a good way to start. And maybe you'll just end up going to see that person in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so of course you guys know that we have the Love Vault that we are gonna do starting in 2022. And so as you guys have been on Finding Love before, what advice would you give to the people who are, kind of nervous to try and do it because it's such a public forum to kind of put yourself out there, but then who are also interested? What advice would you give to those folks?
My advice would be, just do it and just be yourself. If they don't like you, it doesn't change anything. If they don't like you, they don't like you. If they like you, great. If you like them, that'd be even better. Because, you're either going to go out and do that, or you're going to go on the Love Vault and do that. And on the Love Vault, you might even have a better chance of connecting because you kind of already have, like, you guys fill out the little questionnaires. You guys might be even more compatible than you really think. So I would say, just be you. Obviously have fun, and hopefully, you could find her or she could find you. That's just how it is. Just be confident in yourself, and focus on what you're good at and not what everybody else is good at. So
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't try to be somebody that you're not. And it's okay that if the first time you guys talk, you don't hit it off right away. Because some of us, we're not that good on our feet, okay? We don't have the sweet words, we don't know that we don't have pickup lines, but we just know how to be ourselves. So just really truly be yourself.
Yeah, and so on the Love Vault, for those of you that don't know, like Olivia and I will go through the process and really do part of that matching. And so it's not going to be somebody that we don't feel like would be compatible, right? Because most of the questions that we ask are basically what you're looking for and also what you like to do about your things about yourself. And so I think that that's a piece of the compatibility, right? Because of course, like we talked about earlier, chemistry is what kind of attracts you to the person. And compatibility is can I actually live and enjoy a life with this person? And so it's not like we're just gonna, throw people together. It's gonna be a methodical process of matching that up. So being that you guys are going to, you're out there, I don't know how much of social media you followed. How did you all deal with, the trolls and, keyboard bullies that were out there? Did y'all read social media? Did you read the posts at all, or follow any of that? Or did you just was like, I'm going to do my own game and I'm just going to not listen to anybody?
yeah, I think for me, I was just like, I'm just gonna do my own thing, and I don't really care what people say because I'm just gonna be me. And then later on, after the show was done, I mean, I want to go read a couple, and I just kind of laughed because I'm like, you know what, it's fine. Not everybody's gonna like you. It's just like life. Not everybody's gonna like you. Not everyone's gonna hate you. There's gonna be people that are gonna really like you, and people are going to hate you. That's just life. It happens every day. The only difference is now it's just online. So I'm just, like I said, just be yourself, and hopefully you find the right one for you. So.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I totally read comments, by the way. So, yeah, I got a lot of hate on my first video, by the way. If you don't remember. But no, I read comments, but I don't get upset about it or anything. I'm just going to do me. I went in how I did, pretty confident. And, people hated my age. But then, hey, I became a fan favorite. So, yeah, kudos. But, yeah, no, Yeah, I do read the comments, and it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't hurt me or anything. It's just fuel to the fire. After reading that first comment section of my first video, I was in it to win it at that point. So, well, I was in the first place. Don't get me wrong, I was. But after all that, I was, oh yeah, I'm gonna prove these guys wrong. But yeah, I like it. I mean, it motivates me.
Yeah, you know, in the beginning,
Yeah.
you do kind of you definitely do read the comments though in the beginning. But as time goes by, more and more comments flood in. You just learn to just, who cares? You know, just push it aside. It doesn't define their views on you, doesn't define who you are. And plus, the videos that are shown doesn't truly show like the entire date. It only shows snippets. So they don't really understand who you are and all that stuff as much as she did. So it's okay. You just push it off.
Travis?
Yeah, everything everyone else said, and you know, you use comments. You use some of the comments, you know, maybe constructive criticism, constructive feedback, and then yeah, other ones you could laugh at, and you know, you brush off because you know that's not you, and you know that, as Jer said, you know, they only see a little bit, they don't see everything else. So it's fun. And, I'm not gonna lie, reading the comments are fun, and you know, you just take it in stride.
Yeah, that's so good to hear because I mean I think it was so fun, and it was so fun to even for Olive and I to see like folks like people started to kind of pick their favorites, and you know I felt like you all have had supporters and people that were rooting for you guys, and you know I feel like that's what's going to happen with the love vault too. You know, I think that it's you know, as a community, I think we just all loved watching and sharing, and you know, I think with the love vault, it's going to be a little bit different. It's not just going to be, you know, like a bachelorette or bachelor. It's going to be, you know, everybody who is in that vault of pairing them up and finding love for them, you know. And so, you know, but all of you guys just like really showed up, and I think that that's what, you know, that it was a lot different from I think what our community was, you know, like have ever seen. But I think that that's what made Olivia and I really want to do the Love Vault, is because we do feel like our community is ready for something like this, and to, you know, not be so afraid of the public forum. And again, just I think it's just so I just love seeing people that are just very real, right? Of just saying, you know, like I want to find love, and I'm genuine, and I'm not just here to like play around, but I actually am seeking for it. I think that's really brave, and I think that's a really attractive trait.
Yeah, and I think throughout the process, just know that when those trolls do come, Kelly,
Always.
so we got you.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, and you guys can be honest, because this is a question that we want people to hear, because if they're going to be a part of the love vault, we really do want them to understand how important it is to kind of work with Callie and I. So from your guys' experience, could you just share with the audience, whether it's good or bad, we want to hear it all. What was it like working with us?
Yeah, I think you know, working with you guys was awesome. You guys are very flexible, understanding, and it was just great working with you guys. You know, like I feel like we're like family now because I see you guys so much. You know, and it's like every time I need help, you guys are always there helping me. And you know, I try to be flexible too. But you guys have been great to work with and super flexible, super understanding, working around our schedules and stuff like that. So it's been great. Like for me, so.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I loved working with you too. I honestly kind of miss you too ever since we stopped the show. Yeah, but yeah, it's been great working with you too. Like I encourage everybody to join the Love Vault if you want to work with these two, because like they'll do anything in their power to help you succeed in finding love, and they have with me, of course. And yeah, I feel like Olivia is that nurturing type of mother who was just gonna help us through everything she did to me. Kelly's more like straightforward, right? She was like, just do that, which I love both ends, right? So that's how I felt about it. But I loved working with them too. It's been great.
So does that mean that you'll join the level, Roger? For all
I don't know. I saw that nobody from Tennessee's joined yet.
We gotta represent.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it was great working with you guys. Like Eric and Roger said, you guys are very, very flexible. You guys are very, you guys are just there for us whenever we need. You know, you guys you guys have so much hope that we're gonna find love that it makes us hope that we will find love too. And that was really, really great work with you guys. Just like Roger said, Olivia, you're like the mom to all of us. Melly, you're like the sister that I never had too. You kind of remind me of my older sister as well. But it's like it's all those things. But yeah, you're like the sister because if Olivia messes up somewhere, you just like jump. You're like, why did you just say this instead? Like you're very straightforward, and I love that. And I think when you're finding love, that's what you really need. You always need like that mom nurturing figure there, but you kind of need that sister who's just gonna be like, why are you wearing that? You know?
Which I have not said to anybody, okay?
No, you haven't. Yeah, it's overall it's just really, really great working with you guys.
Thank you.
I agree. I agree. It's been great working with you. Kind of the structure that you guys provide. I think that's probably something that people should expect, though, because to put something on like this, right? Finding love and then the love out. It takes it takes planning, it takes structure, and working around a lot of people's schedules. So I think people have got to know that there's going to be a structure to it, and maybe it's going to be different because in Bong we like to we just like to kind of wing it. But I think with this, you guys are trying to make it a bit more organized, a bit more structured so that there's a better chance for ultimately at the end of the day trying to match people up. And yeah, you guys are doing great. And I think, people, they should sign up for it.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of, work. And I think because we do believe in it so much, right? Just the concept of love and getting people together and making sure that the whole experience, like with you guys, like all the virtual dates that you guys had, and really planning around that. And, it's something that, especially when we put it out, it's something that we want it to be, like pleasant for both of the individuals on the date, and then also for people like viewers as well, right? To make sure that it's something that they're going to get something from. Because there's, like Jor was saying, we don't show everything. It's not because it's just that sometimes when you're even on a regular date, right? It's not like it's always going to be like 100% interesting. There's a lot of like that in between time, and so it's definitely we definitely need structure. We plan ahead and we make sure that everything that we need on the date is being provided, and that does take planning.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for your honest feedback. And you're right. I think that's why Callie and I work so well together, just because our personalities are very different, but we both feel really strongly about just being there. This is something we want to put on, and we do really believe that we want to help all of you guys find love. And so even if at the end of that you guys didn't end up with charm, that's okay. The love vault is now open. So just throwing that out there. So thank you so much for your kind words. I really do appreciate it. All right, Callie, do we want to sum it up, or do we want to take some more questions?
If anybody has questions, but let's do this last question that we have, Olivia, on our. So what were some tactics that you guys used to calm your nerves before you went on your date, or just before the cameras turned on, right? Because going on a date when it's just two of you guys is already nerve-wracking enough, but to know that, oh crap, like the little thing on your computer turns on and you're like, oh, we're being recorded. How did you guys, just calm your nerves and try not to think about the fact that it was being recorded?
I guess for me, I usually just go to the gym before, and after that, I'll come back and just like listen to music and just kind of like relax, and then I'll be fine after that. I guess that's what I do to calm myself down a little bit, because it is nervous. I mean, you're on live, everybody sees you, but after about 2 minutes or so, it's just like talking to everybody. So like I'm pretty relaxed after that. So
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, I usually just wing it, and then honestly, and then like Eric said, once I get to talking, I get really comfortable. So I would just talk away. So I guess, yeah, like I said, I usually just wing it and then try to get that comfort, and then break the ice with the other person. And then once we're comfortable, and then it just starts flowing from there, in my opinion.
Thankfully for me, by the time we started recording, it's already 10 p.m. for me. So that's the end of my day. I already gone to the gym, already eaten. So then when we record, it's like, I'm just gonna be myself. I'm too tired to try to be somebody that I'm not, to try to like, just do anything that I wouldn't normally do. There are times where, I do get nervous, but just like Eric did, just listen to music. But as soon as that camera turns on, like all the nerves just goes away.
Yeah. Travis?
Yeah, and I think one of the best things you can do for yourself for something like this is just be yourself. Don't focus or don't try to just put on a different personality or anything. You're gonna go camera. Just be yourself and try to relax. And yeah, I know myself. I listen to music and just kind of chill out for a little bit and then kind of do your thing.
Yeah, and we will definitely be there every step of the way. Clearly, Olivia would be the more nurturing one, and apparently, but at least you have that support. Part of what we try to do is be there and provide that structure and be as supportive as we can. And so it's not like something that we're just gonna have you drop in there and then be like, just go. I think we especially when we first started with all of you was really kind of outlining and then giving you expectations that and then the rest is just it's just following your heart and trying to be as genuine as possible.
Yeah. I mean, none of you guys needed it and asked for it, but I mean, we even offered our services of coming up with topics for you to talk about during your virtual dates, right? Like literally we will help you through everything. I promise. We won't just leave you hanging. So if, I know we've gotten a lot of like messages asking if we're going to record the sessions or if it's going to be shown on live. And the answer to that is yes, we are going to be recording it. And honestly, the guys have said it already, but it literally is just like FaceTime. You're talking to someone for the first time. Like you won't even know that it's on. We're there in the background, but it's just going to be you and the other person. So
Yep. And if you have any questions at all, definitely please just DM us. We are trying to answer questions as soon as possible. If you have any issues with the form, definitely let us know. But, I think just with the Finding Love, we had a lot of fun with it. And we really, I think at the end of the day, just really want to be able to help as many people as possible. And, whether you find love or whether you're just able to put yourself out there, I think it's, again, super brave. And I feel like once you do it, then you're just like, or like real life dating, I feel like it would be so simple, right? Because like before, it's all super open and people can say, oh, you should be like this or like that, and then I feel like once you do that, it's kind of like skydiving, right? I'm sure like once you do it, you're just like, okay, everything else is no biggie. I'm in skydive, but it's just
Okay. I didn't want to agree and be like, yeah. No.
All right. We have one last question here. I'm just kidding.
no.
All right.
So I think the question that people too want to know for our local Californians is, which one of you is going to Fresno New Year?
So I'll be there on Saturday.
Okay. Only Saturday?
Yeah, that's a far flight.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
I'm still
debating. And I will be there too.
Ooh, Travis will be there. Roger is debating, so please comment. Make him come.
Hey, Roger was single. Yeah.
Let me know.
If there was a question asking if Roger, what do they call those? Is for rent for holiday parties.
Oh, yes. I charge a flat fee. No kidding.
Roger,
no,
can I be your manager?
Definitely invite me. I'll always I'm open. I'm very spontaneous. I'll come.
Oh.
All right, Jer, how about you?
Unfortunately not. This is the first year for Fresno New Year that I'm missing out on the past like 6 years. So it just had to be this year.
Just had to be this year. Well,
Sorry.
we are looking forward to seeing Eric and Travis at the Hmong New Year. We're looking forward to possibly seeing Roger. So if you guys are watching this on the playback and you want him to show up, tag him in the comments. Let him know that you guys want him to be there. Show him some love. Jerry rejected, so we won't be seeing him, but maybe we'll see you in Minnesota or something. I don't know. And then, of course, we too also want to see all of you at Fresno New Year. So Kelly's already talked about it at the very beginning, but just a reminder that we will be there on the 31st and the 1st. We have our spot already, so we'll put that up so you guys know where to find us. Again, we're going to have prizes and games and like a whole bunch of different stuff. We're not selling any merchandise. We're really there to just kind of be there with you guys and meet all of you. So come say hi.
Yes, and you can sign up for the Love Vault while you're at our booth as well. And so we, again, are filling up the Love Vault so that we can create something magical for you all next year.
Someone is selling Eric's number for $100.
What?
Only 100?
Oh my gosh.
Only 100.
Dang, dude. I only got $5.
Yo, linda, que I will be selling Eric's number for $1,000.
Oh my god.
Profits will go to all that talk.
Somebody said they want his address instead.
What? No.
Maybe for $10,000, I'll give that. Eric will work something out.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for being with us tonight. It was, again, really, really great to see all of you. And, you know, congrats to Travis for being able to find love. And we will see, we hope to see a video floating around of you proposing, possibly. No?
I want to see this video too, Travis.
Me too. Tell her.
Yeah, I want to
What
see
was
you
that?
with a bucket of fried chicken.
And tell her to propose.
Oh man.
If you guys know Travis's
Pressure, I
girlfriend,
feel
tag
pressure
her.
now.
Tell her.
Yeah,
Start
you feel
tagging
some
her.
pressure.
I think she had me as a friend too, so I'll go.
Oh, yo.
Yeah, I
And
got
Roger, make sure you tag her. Let her know that he'll say yes if she proposed, okay?
Yep.
I got you. I got you, Travis. I mean,
Don't worry about it.
Oh, too funny. Okay, well, thank you again for being with us and everyone else that joined in today. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun just to kind of talk relationships. Again, we are really looking for the Love Vault for, you know, that next series that we have going on. And please definitely encourage people to come on and you know, let's all find love together in the Love Vault.
All right.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.